Well, Aaron Hall, man, with boat bound. I can't even say it, man. I got 8 years of graduate school and I still can't talk. Boatbound.co. But more importantly, man, you get me a boat anywhere, it seems like in the United States for a day, for an hour, or whatever. I could be a big shot and pay almost nothing. And it's really part of the sharing economy. People with boats that don't use them all the time, are really putting them on your site and say, hey, for $300 you have this nice boat. Like I live in Washington, I saw this great little party boat for $285. And the guy who runs it down there, he had reviews that were just terrific. I mean, he brings, ice to your party. He does all these things to make your party happy. And it's just a terrific idea. I don't know. Are you a sailor or how'd you get into this?
Well, thank you. We're definitely excited to see the growth. And obviously in DC, in your neck of the woods, there's a lot of great boats to explore. But I grew up powerboating. I didn't grow up sailing. Living in the DC area for about 9 years. I had some friends in Annapolis that were sailors, but they couldn't convince me to switch to that side. Now I'm in San Francisco, which is kind of the mecca of all things sailing. But I still prefer to get out on a powerboat and go a little bit faster than the wind will blow me. But sailing's fun.
So you were a sailor. Sailing, not in the Navy. I was in the Navy, 3 years, 2 months, 9 days. Yeah, but that was different kind of stuff on the water. But now you have an opportunity now for anybody who want to use a boat for just a day, or even with a captain. I mean, I could go on your boat and find a yacht with a captain and for 3 days and go anywhere I want. Or what you mentioned earlier was interesting. If I have a boat up in Maine and I'm traveling down Miami and I don't want to drive my boat down there, I could find a similar boat down in Miami, or I have a hankering for learning to sail because I knew how to sail as a kid. Instead of going into one of these deals where 3 people go in, 5 people go in and share a boat, man, I could throw it once or twice a year. And it's the most flexible way to be on the water, it seems.
There is. It's definitely the most flexible way to be on the water. And if you own a boat, it gives you the ability to rent it once or twice a month and offset the cost. Which means then you can boat for free, which is always more fun. If you don't have a boat, you can't own a boat because of where you live. Now you can rent boats from real people to take care of them, and they're rigged the way people want them. So the guys up in Maine that want to travel to Florida and sport fish, they don't have to drag their boat. They can find boats that are rigged perfectly for the waters that they're going to fish in, and enjoy a great day with none of the hassle of having to lug it back and forth. So yeah, it's extreme flexibility. And at the same time, you get to build relationships with people that are boat owners just like you.
But you're saying that even if I'm going to a lake in Montana and want a boat for a day, I could get a boat there, even though there'll never be a boat rental company there.
Yeah, we have boats all over the country. We started in San Francisco last summer, and we've quickly expanded. We're in almost every single state now, with thousands of cities. Thousands of boats, from canoes all the way up to mega yachts, if you want to live like a rock star.
But it seems also, if I go out and rent a boat for the day, I've got to get some, things been kicked around the bay for who knows what, and it's not very nice, and, whatever, because the guy's just trying to make a buck out of it, doesn't care about the boat. But here you're really getting somebody's little baby, aren't you, to use?
Yeah. No, it's funny how close people hold their boats.
Yeah.
The boats are their babies, and because of that, they take care of them. They may not use them as much as they like. I think the fact is that 95% of your boats sit unused, so their babies sit lonely 95% of the year. So we're giving their babies something to do, and
like taking dog for the walk. Yeah.
Right. It's funny that a boat costs more in maintenance if you let it sit there most of the year. So if it's used more, the owner is actually going to pay less in maintenance because it keeps the engine going and it keeps it in better condition. So there's a lot of other side benefits to kind of using boatbound.
But you actually, boatbound is really ideal because everybody gets insurance for anything that could possibly go wrong, right? First of all, the guy who owns a boat gets insurance they couldn't get otherwise. Right, for somebody else using his boat and making money at it. And then the guy's using a boat for the first time. You have insurance that someone will tow me, if I get stuck in the middle of
the difference is, for an individual owner, they're not able to rent their boats because their insurance will void if they take money. And so our policy becomes the primary during the rental. So if something happens, there's $2 million in liability protection, or in insurance protection, and $1 million in liability covering the renter if something should happen. If something happens on the water, we'll send someone out to give you gas, to tow you. And so, it's a pretty turnkey system that, and I think the thing that we focused on the most was safety. Making sure that it was a safe experience. And so far everything's been great. The owner and the renter each review themselves afterwards. So trust is a big part of the platform, and it's working really well so far.
But I mean, if I had a boat and I think of renting, and then I would think, well, when I rent from Hertz, I don't care how I bring the car back, so somebody's going to take my little baby and do that. But it's a different scene in this peer-to-peer kind of.
No, totally different. I mean, it's just like if you went to stay overnight at your friend's house, you typically make the bed and clean it up for the life. Because your friend's he's gonna judge you if you don't.
Right.
Similar with peer-to-peer. You build a relationship with people. It's someone's real boat. It's not Hertz's car. So you clean it up, and what we see is the psychological impact of being rated and reviewed after the rental. It really inspires people to be good citizens within these type of platforms, and they strive to get a great review so they can use the system over and over again. If you get a bad review, it's going to be pretty unlikely.
I can see Hilton now putting when I leave the room a mess, they're going to put my name on the on their website. Lesko left room 725 a mess. That'll get me to clean it up, but that's what it does in peer-to-peer. I mean, it's just wonderful, and it seems like a more personal, gratifying experience for both the owner and the renter, because you're dealing with like your brother-in-law's boat, and your wife's going to get after you, and so you're going to be nice to everybody. Now, does one of those hats come with every rental, or what?
We do. We actually send what we call our welcome kits to renters. So we send them a boat-bound T-shirt and a captain's hat. We give the owner some koozies.
Oh, you do?
We like to spread the Ahoy culture all over the place. But
well, God, I gotta go out and get a boat today. It's wonderful here in DC, and I go to boatbound.co. Co. I can do com or anything, but it's boatbound.co, and I can just search for boat. I mean, it's great to go on your site, just fantasize about all these boats, that I can live on for the day. Or whatever. And it's a great trip, a bunch of party boats or overnight boats, any kind of boat you want. Well, that's wonderful. Well, thanks for being there, Aaron. It's a good, fun thing to have. I think all these old, crappy boats that are out there they're renting, are going to be gone by the wayside with you guys there. And you say you're going to be in other countries soon and all over. It's growing like that.
we are. I appreciate it. We're definitely going to be international. We're kind of planning how that's going to look. So look for us probably in the Caribbean, some of the tropical locations, south of the equator in Australia soon. So we're planning our world domination. And
because all these fat cats put their boats down there, and I could live on their boat instead of buying a hotel there.
Lot better experience.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Aaron. Good for you. And boatbound.co. Take care.
Thanks.